We've had several discussions at recent selectmen meetings related to providing property tax relief with the objective of encouraging development of vacant lots and older structures on the beach. The initial catalyst was the desire to see development take place on the block that was destroyed by the February fire. The selectmen are considering putting forward a warrant article under the provisions of the Community Revitalization Tax Relief Incentive Statute 79E. It would require a simple majority vote at town meeting. As we move forward, we'll need to involve the planning board, the town attorney, and obtain input from the public. Essentially, the tax break would cause the assessed value of the property to be based on the value of the original structure as opposed to the replaced or rehabilitated structure for a period of 5 years. As an example, a property with an assessed value of $1 million and an existing building valued at $1 million that has its structure replaced with new or substantially rehabilitated structure with a value of $1.5 million would be continued to be taxed at the assessed value of $2 million as opposed to $2.5 million for a period of 5 years. As an example, based on the 2009 tax rate and valuations, the tax would remain at $32,000 as opposed to rising to $41,000. There are requirements related to public benefits, such as enhancing the economic vitality of the downtown. There's language that protects historical or architecturally important structures. Decisions would have to be made relative to some of the specifics of a warrant article. Would it have a geographic scope of just the A block that was damaged by the fire, or would it be a subset of the entire beach? Should Route 1 be considered? Would there be use limitations? Would the warrant article include a sunset clause of 5 or 10 years or whatever? So there's a lot of details that would have to be considered, and we've got the time to do that. In itself, this isn't a panacea. I think it falls more into the category of every little bit helps. I think it's something worth supporting. When we've discussed it, I believe that all the other selectmen felt the same way, and I think that there's a good chance that that's something that the public would support.
I've sat here and listened to a lot of ideas that are expressed by individuals. So far, I haven't heard any problems. What I've heard are opportunities, and we need to capitalize on those potential opportunities. If we start looking at these issues as problems, we'll never get them solved. They're very involved. These opportunities are available to us to work on, to get our state and federal legislators to help us with. There are plenty of grant opportunities out there. We have 2 economic development commissions sitting here today who have been greatly instrumental and helpful in obtaining federal grants and other types of grants for the town and for businesses within the community. The town has sponsored those grants, and we're allowed to do that by statute, both federal and state. And the Board of Selectmen has been very instrumental in getting those grants sponsored and brought forward. As you know, we have, I think we're on our 3rd one, we're about to go on our 4th one. So there's no cost to you as a taxpayer, except at the federal and state level, and those funds are paid for not only your property taxes, but some of the place. The TIF district that we heard described a few minutes ago is a creative way of funding. It goes back to the public laws of the 1860s, immediately following the Civil War, when these laws were originally placed in the books in a very involved way. They've been simplified these days. They are available to the town if the town wishes to vote on them and approve them. We're basically a service organization. We provide the services that you direct us to provide. So one of the things that you need to seriously think about, both here at the state level and at the federal level, is to ask your representatives, or at the local level as a petition, the town meeting if necessary, to provide that direction. Once provided, we can act on it, and we can act on it with force. There's no reason why we can't overcome the obstacles that someone may place in front of us to help people better their businesses, better the beach, better the community. We all work together. There's been a lot of talk about it's the beach against the town against the beach. It's not the way it is. Everything that happens anywhere in the town of Hampton affects everybody in the town of Hampton. It doesn't matter whether you run a business at the beach, you run a business uptown, you have a residence here, or you have a residence in the west end of the community. We're all tied together. Everybody works together, and everybody has a benefit from what occurs that benefits one party, benefits all parties. We need to emphasize that. We heard some discussion about the infrastructure. We all need to look at our infrastructure needs, not just the sewer investment and the road investment that the town made in the beach, the state investment that's being made in the new facilities at the beach, the Route 1A corridor, the Route 101 corridor, which could be greatly improved. All those things will enhance what we do. It will enhance the ability of the people who own businesses in the beach area and the town area to improve them, to make them better, to make them year-round, to make them influential on what happens in this community as a whole, not just here, but also on the seacoast. We also need, and I suggested to Park and Rec some time ago that we take a look at some wintertime activities, because we don't have any of those by and large. I suggested that we have a beautiful summertime sand sculpture competition which has international reputation. I suggested that we do an ice competition. How about a snow competition? They're done in other areas of the country. Why can't we do something of that nature here to attract people into the community and enhance our business opportunities? So the town is willing to work with all of you to try to reserve and put forward those great opportunities that are there. Ask us. Please sponsor legislation through your representatives here or in Washington, or through a petition article, or through the Board of Selectmen for town meeting. Once you give us that direction, we'll move forcibly to carry out your directions. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred.